Hello, boys and girls. How are you? Good afternoon. Welcome again to this new episode of the Volley Talks. Today, Wednesday, July the 29th of 2020. We are in the episode number 82. And today we have a great guest, a long-time referee from USA Volleyball. I know him when in the Olympic qualification tournament in Long Beach in 2012. Well, we have been in contact all these years, and well, it's a great pleasure for me to receive Ron Stahl directly from Fort Worth, Texas. How are you, Ron?
Hi, how are you? Appreciate you asking me to be on here.
No, very, very glad that you accepted the invite, Ron. How's everything in Fort Worth?
Hot. It's hot in Texas. Hot and humid. But it's summertime, and you know, everyone can stay in now because of the COVID-19.
Yes, yes. Well, the situation is the same for all of us in Mexico, in the USA, and everywhere. But well, we have to stay safe, right? Right now,
Oh yes,
waiting for
definitely.
the restart of volleyball.
Oh, I hope it's going to start soon, but it keeps on looking like it's going to be next year, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I heard that I read, and well, unfortunately, that's the truth, that's the real situation. But well, right now we have this opportunity to talk about a lot of volleyball.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been lucky enough to do a lot of volleyball, so.
All right, well, thanks for accepting the invitation, Ron. I think I spoke with you 2 weeks ago. It was just a matter of the schedule of to get ready for the time. But well, here we are. Thanks again a lot, Ron, for being here.
Again, appreciate you asking me. Thank you.
Hey, we have our first comments. Osvaldo Carrillo says hi.
Oh, tell
I
her
don't
hi.
know, I don't know from where he is, but well,
Oh.
hello, or Osvaldo. Rocio Huarcaya from Peru. Hey, hi, Alejandro and Ron.
Hello. I know I'll start getting all these beeps. Everyone's going to be saying hello.
You knew Rocio Huarcaya in Peru, right?
In Peru, yeah.
For Pan Am Games or for Challenger
Well,
Cup?
just no, I was there for a Challenger Cup.
Right.
2 years ago, 3 years ago. Challenger Cup for VNL, and went down there for a week, and it was a great event. They were a great host. I had a great time. So
Great. Also, I always say to Mary Carmen Duran that I think she has a double citizenship, because she travels a lot to Peru.
yeah. Well, again, I was in Mexico a couple years ago too, and she's all over the place. She was helping out, and she came down to Veracruz, and so it was excellent in Mexico. That's what I missed the most, is going to all these countries, seeing everybody, having a good time. You know, doing some.
Enjoying the food, Ron.
Oh, too much food, man. Too
In,
much
in
food.
Peru, in Peru and Veracruz, you can complain about the
Oh
food.
no, we had some excellent food in Veracruz, and we went down to the sea one time for this lunch, and because we had two sites, so everybody went down to Veracruz and ate on the beach and had this excellent seafood lunch. I mean, it was like they're bringing out, almost they were like right off the boat, big shrimp and all great food, great time, and that's what I miss the most, is the just having like little parties with everybody and just getting to know everybody. But then we work hard when it's volleyball time, and try to ref our best. So
Yeah,
we
something in Mexico you can complain it's food. We can complain about a lot of other things, but not food.
not food. No. Mexico is great for food, man.
I know. Which other places of Mexico have you been?
Uh, Basically to referee, I,
Mhm.
I've been to Veracruz. I'm trying to
In
think.
Baja? No, Baja.
I've been to Baja for vacation,
All right.
but it seems like I've not done very many events in
Perfect.
Norseca compared to like Denny, uh, or other referees. It seems like everyone goes everywhere. I'm always overseas. I'm in Japan, Italy, Poland, Russia, but hardly ever in Norseca. And one of the issues we have too is we have so many USA referees. Like in Dominica, there's two for the most part. So they do most of the events and we spread it out so everyone gets at least one or two. So, it's best for everyone and we get to work, but then I don't get to see as many places as some of the other referees. But
Yes.
I have an excellent time. So
Last year, I went to Colima for men's Pan Am Cup, and there I met Jung Park. Great guy,
oh yeah,
great guy.
yep, he's a great referee, and he's moving up on the USA end because we're all retiring. Paul retired. Kevin Call retires this year. I retired next year. Patty's going to retire next year after the Olympics. So we're losing 4 people right there at the top of the list. So we need people. And then just found out that I don't know if it's public or not, but Brian Hemmelgarn, he's going to become a challenge referee for FIVB. So he won't be able to do FIVB, but he will still be able to referee NORCECA. So he's kind of on the low end now of refereeing because he's going to be a challenge referee. So there's 5 referees at the top, and we only had 14. We had 3 go through a course, but they're only continental until they move up. So, we don't have a lot of referees with a lot of experience after we retire at the high level.
High challenge for Petty Rolf, right? Magda Mankowska says, "Stay safe, Ron."
Oh, Magda
Mankowska.
Okay.
Maybe from Poland. I don't know.
Poland, yeah.
I think
she lives in the U.S. now.
Okay. Mary-Carmen Duran says, "Hello, Stan. Hello."
Great.
Mary-Carmen Duran from Guadalajara, Mexico. Joe Campbell says, "Go get him, Ron. Good to see you, Joe Campbell."
Oh, Joe, yeah.
He was in the show 2 weeks ago. Amazing guy, really fun.
Joe's a great guy. Like I was saying before, when we were talking before the show, we've known each other through his whole USA career. He wasn't doing anything for USA, and then he jumped on board because he was a para international referee, and he's done great things on both sides. So
yeah, and well, I didn't know that he also went to 6 Paralympic Games.
Yeah,
Great.
like I said, he's top dog on the para side. So
I know,
and I don't know if you know, but I coached I was the assistant coach for the para sitting team in 1996 in Atlanta.
I didn't know, but this was great.
So I was the assistant coach in 1996 in Atlanta for our men's sitting team. We didn't have a women's team, but we had a standing team. We had the 2 teams we had, para was a little bit different than we had standing and sitting, and no women's, and in 96, and now it's grown so much, and our women's team's awesome. Our men's team's good. They're always fighting for spots, but our women's team, they're always fighting against China for the top spot in the world. So
Yeah, and well, Joe told me that the standing volley is no longer in activity, just sitting, right?
Just sitting. Yep. But it was difficult to have because you had to give points to every player, and you could only have so many points on the court. So someone could be a 5 and someone's a 1, and you could only have so much. I forget all the rules, but it was difficult to, but sitting is a really great game. If you haven't played, it's worth playing as an able body. I mean,
last week I host Jeremy Rouchet, DJ Rouchet, and I know that he really loves sitting volleyball. He's back-to-back national champion of sitting.
Yeah, because he gets on the great teams at nationals. I know.
And well, he told me that it's very, very hard to play para volley.
Yeah, but it's a great game. I mean, if you don't want to be running and jumping and you still want to be involved in volleyball, that's a great way to stay involved. I mean,
okay. Octavio Medina, great friend of mine, a Mexican right now living in Seattle, Washington, says, "Hello, my dear friend. It is great to hear from different personalities in the volleyball world."
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
And Magda Mankowska says, yeah, hey Alejandro, yes, I am from Poland, but I am a US ref known as Magda Glyphs.
Yes. And she's
Good.
one, and she's one of our new international or NORSEC,
Continental.
continental referees. She went to
Yeah,
the course in November, I believe.
yeah, we will talk a little about that, about this new configuration of the international and continental courses. And also, Magda says, good friend of Ron, so happy to see him talking on your show. No, happy me for having you, Ron.
Oh, thank you.
Capono Todd says, stay safe.
I
Capono
think
Todd.
I think everyone needs to say stay safe. You know,
Yes.
nobody needs to be getting sick. You know,
Oh,
no.
oh, tell me about it. Okay. Ron, please, as all the guests that have been here, please, I want to start with some of your beginnings. Please tell us how you begin in the volleyball world. I was pretty amazed because uh, I think 80 or 85% of the guests, volleyball wasn't their first choice for sport. I don't know if it's is your case.
No, actually, when I was younger, I didn't play volleyball at all. I was a basketball player. I loved basketball and played baseball, and I played all the sports growing up. I lived back east in West Virginia, and then moved to California. And when I moved to California, I started playing some other sports, and I got involved with swimming and water polo. And I went to junior college uh, playing those sports. And then I was playing some beach volleyball and playing volleyball because I liked it. I wasn't playing competitive in a sense of like at a university, but then I was playing so much. I liked it so much. I was almost playing every day. And then when I finished my undergrad, I finished at Fresno State and I played on their club team. And so I played for 3 years on their club team. And, it was, I was a, I was, since I played basketball, volleyball and basketball go hand in hand. Footwork, jumping, blocking, grabbing the ball or whatever. So I could jump well. So that helped a lot, when you play volleyball. Uh, but yeah, just I love playing volleyball and I played a bunch. And so I was a player, and that's how it got me to get involved with coaching. I started coaching, and that's how I went on after coaching. I started uh, refereeing because the head coach I was coaching under asked me if I wanted to start refereeing, and I said sure. He goes,
At
"You can
what
make
at what
extra
age?
money."
At
Uh,
what age?
at 20,
20.
I was 20. Yeah. So I was 20 years old and I started to referee. I didn't know a lot about refereeing at all, but since I did play, I knew what two hits, and back in the old days, we called it if it spun at all, two hits. Now it's not like that at all, but so it's easy to call because you didn't have to look at the technique or anything. You just looked at the spin of the ball,
Yes,
you
of
know,
course.
and then net is easy if you touch the net and call in and out. I mean, I was young, so I could see the ball well. And so it helped and gave me opportunities. And I was lucky enough that the people I knew and the people I met, I impressed enough that they kept on letting me referee. And I became an international referee.
All right, perfect. At what age did you attend the international course?
I went to the course in 2002 in Bulgaria. Yep. Dr. Hove was one of my teachers, you
Oh,
know, the
Andrew
great
Hovey,
Dr.
yeah.
Yes, the great Dr. Hove. So he did a few more courses after mine, but not many. So I was lucky enough to go to one of his courses. So I learned a whole lot about refereeing at his course. Uh, and then I was certified from the FIVB in 2003.
All right. We have a comment, Ron. Carlos Rodriguez says, you know about refereeing. Now, Ron, have a great show.
Oh, tell Carlos thank you. He's one of my assigners from Texas. So he lets me referee here in Texas and other states. He does a lot of different schools, but he's one of my assigners. We don't have one assigner like we do in FIVB. We have a lot of them, and we have to be in contact with everybody, and we have to really manage our time and what days we're available, and it's a lot of work if you want to work a lot. You know, it's easy if you just want to work a couple matches. You work for one assigner, no problem. But when you have to work for all these assigners, you have to have all this paperwork and all these different websites you have to update and say, I'm available, I'm not available, I can go here, I can fly here, I can't go here. And he does a great job. And I've known Carlos for a long, long time. And if he's listening, his shorts are still on the wall up in Colorado.
Hey, it's interesting that you are mentioning this of this job of the assigners. How does work for you? Well, I mean, maybe different for the different regions in USA Volleyball. You're in the North Texas region, right?
I'm in the North Texas region, correct?
And how does work these assignations for referee? Do you have meetings in a weekly basis, monthly basis, or the assignments are only via webpage?
Well, we have we have different seasons. We're coming into the collegiate season in the fall. We have
Yeah.
girls high school in the fall and women's collegiate in the fall. In the spring, in Texas, we only have club volleyball.
Right.
All right. And then there's not a lot of universities that have beach volleyball in Texas, but we have a few universities that have beach. But there's a lot of beach going on in the U.S. So we have like USA Volleyball does nothing in the fall. We don't do our clinics and get our assignments until the spring. But like in the fall during university, we get different university games from different assigners. And same with high school, we have an assigner for high school. And so you do some high school games or some middle school games. And, you know, I try to pick up a game here or there if I'm not busy doing a collegiate game. You know, in the fall, the majority of my games are university games at Division One.
All right.
And,
So it's divided like that. Some season in the year high school, and the other season is college.
well, that's in the fall, but then like in
In
the
the fall.
spring, yeah, and then in the spring we have our club season, and that's
All
only
right.
on the weekends. That's where all the kids get to play. Well, they pay to play, and we have these little mini tournaments every weekend for the most part, especially here in North Texas. We literally go from January 1st until middle of June. There's a tournament every weekend you could work. We need
Right.
referees. We don't have enough referees. We have more players and teams than referees. I mean,
I can go. I can go next year to help you.
yeah, you can come on over. We need
Of
you,
course. Yeah,
especially
I'll
the
be there.
especially the big tournaments. I mean, we have some of our tournaments. We have 150 courts.
150 courts every weekend.
Not every weekend,
Or
right? But we, you know, we have a few weekends where, you know, there are a lot of courts. I mean, there are probably 15 to 20 weekends where there's tournaments that have 100 courts in the
wow.
US. So if I wanted to go to a big tournament, I could go to Chicago. If I want to go to LA or Atlanta, I can go to up in up in the East Coast. I can go to Florida. I mean, Florida just had a tournament last weekend, you know, during COVID. I think they had 350 teams, and this is AAU where they normally have 1,000 teams, and it's run over 12 days. I think they ran 6 days or 8 days. You didn't play a lot, but everything was spread out, and everything went well. I heard everyone had to wear masks. There was no fans, but it gave an opportunity for the kids to play. So.
Yes. Yes, I can imagine. And well, you as part of the North Texas region, you can go to every other region to ref. No
Uh,
problem.
yes. they want you to work in your region first, but a lot of times the teams even travel outside to go to a better tournament, a bigger tournament, and some of our tournaments are qualifiers to get to nationals. So we have different national tournaments at the end of the year that are in June and July that you try to qualify for. So you play in these events, and then you can try to go to these bigger events and try to play at the national championship.
And the nationals are divided, right? Well, please
They're
correct me.
divided.
In
They're right.
juniors and in seniors. What?
It's a completely different thing for a senior champion. There's no qualification for the senior event. Basically, you just sign up and play. If you have a team, you can practice or whatever, but there's no qualification for the senior event. But the junior events, there's some qualifiers that you can go to, and those are the big events where there's 150 courts, and then they try to go to our national championship. So, right. And we have different levels of our national championship too. We have different divisions, if you want to call open division. You have USA division. I mean, I don't even know all the divisions because there's too many now. I mean, there are so many divisions, but everyone tries to play and win. So it gives a lot of opportunity for the kids to play.
And how much do you think this will change for next year?
I think a lot of things will change. I think that instead of being so crowded with maybe 150 courts, I think things will be spread out more. There'll be less courts, maybe more events. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, we might still not play in the spring. I mean, it could turn worse, and then they could say we're all still stuck inside. I mean, if I had a crystal ball, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I'd be somewhere else. But no, I mean, hopefully we can get back to at least playing a little bit as soon as possible.
Yeah, I hope so too. Stan Nguyen says the days of 150 courts are over.
Well, could be. Yep.
By now, for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, it could grow again. You know, it could start growing again. But I think once it kind of opens up again, I think it will be much smaller and try to be more protective of everyone's open space and try not to shove so many people into one area.
Yes, of course. Also, Tan Nguyen says in 2019, 2,900 teams. In 2020, 325.
I was close, you know.
Big difference.
Yeah, big difference. Yeah, he's one of the administrators that goes to AAUs, but I knew it was about 350. You know, I read the update, but I can't remember every number. But it was still, I heard it was a good event. So
great. Miguel Ramirez, Miguelito.
Miguelito.
Hello, my dear friend Ron. Congrats, be safe. Hi, Alex. Hi, Miguel. Did he also broke to a sombrero?
No sombrero.
No, never. Hey, Miguel, what's up with the sombrero for Ron? I'm saying this because he, wherever he went to international competition,
he always brought a sombrero.
He brought a lot of sombreros as a gift. Magda Glee says yes. Unfortunately, that no more games in this fall. And my friend Dr. Medina from Seattle says, how can one person be part of the referee association?
Well, anyone can join. I mean, at the high school level or USA level, you sign up, then you would go to a clinic. We're in the middle of our teaching right now. We're doing everything online. We're having a lot of Zoom meetings. 2 weeks ago, I gave a Zoom meeting talk about alignments, of how to judge alignments, how to kind of have some good knowledge of when they could be overlapped, and about ball handling, you know, because I think ball handling, this is where people are too tight or too loose. And this is where we need, as a group of referees, need to be much closer. So if I go to this state or this country. It's the same everywhere for all levels. I mean, we shouldn't be calling tighter at the younger age and being more loose at the older age. It should be vice versa. But
Yes.
but we want more play, so we can't call, like I told you at the beginning, where the ball spins, that's 2 hits, because it's really not. Just because the ball spins doesn't mean it's 2 hits. It just means that the ball spun. Because if I forearm pass, the ball comes up and the ball spins. If I hand set, the ball could spin, but I didn't hit it twice. It just spins.
Yes.
So we have to make good judgments, and we have to be closer as a referee corps on doing that. And then the players, the fans, and everybody would understand this is a fault, that is not a fault, versus, and they could watch any game and understand, oh yeah, that's a fault.
Yeah. That's I think I have always think that that's one of the difficulties of our sport, because it's a lot of technical. It's very technical our sport, and not all people understand. Hey, why the ref called the center line, or why the ref called
Right.
the back row attack? I understand. It's a little difficult for defense.
Yeah.
Miguelito says, sorry for missing the sombrero. Next time, I promise, Ron.
And some cervezas.
Coronas.
Yes, Coronas.
Not coronavirus, just corona
No,
beers.
just the Corona beer. Yep.
Miguel Ángel Ramirez says, hello, dear Tang Nguyen. Big hug, yes. Okay, thanks, Miguel, for being here. And well, let's go back just a little, Ron. Well, you were in California. You told me in Fresno State. What
Yes.
happened between Fresno and when you became a national referee or international referee in USA Volleyball?
Well, I got my national referee for USA in 1995, which was 2 years after I graduated from Fresno State. I graduated in 1993 from Fresno State. I took some time off between my junior college and then going back to finish up my university years. So I played a lot of volleyball on my time off. I worked and played volleyball, and so I went back and ended up playing on the club team but so now I was reffing in high school, while I was going to school. So instead of working at McDonald's and working a lot of hours, I worked 2 days a week and did something I liked and made some decent money. And I learned about refereeing. So I got to start refereeing while I was going to Fresno State. Had my first opportunity to do some college matches at Division I while I was going to school. There, an old international referee, which is no longer with us, Gary Kohlberg. He was the assigner for Northern California, so he would let me referee like University of Pacific when they were very good. I'd get to go up to Sac State, up to UNL, not UNLV, but Reno, University of Reno. I'd get to do some Northern California Division I schools. I wouldn't get to do Fresno State because you really don't get to do that. But I had some opportunities to referee, and it was weird because then after I graduated from Fresno State, I worked on my master's here in Texas. So I was going to school and I was refereeing, and this is the first year that they were having junior national referees get certified at a qualifier. So, and the qualifier was in Austin. So I asked if I could go, and they go, yeah. And so I passed my junior national referee in 94. And then in 95, I got my national for USA. So like in 1 year, I got everything done. And then
Oh, it's great.
and then 6 years later, I went for my international in Bulgaria.
You told me that your international course was is in 2002, right?
My course was 2002, correct?
How hard was for you from 95 when you got this national level going to the international course? it was hard time. You played, I may think, a lot of games on all levels, but you like that. You wanted to be an international referee.
Well, I was on, they picked people out to kind of like you could be a potential international referee, but there were no positions open to go. We had a full crew of 20 back in 1995. And so there was no positions that no one was retiring. And so you could only go if somebody left. You kind of understand? So when that 20 went down to 18, then we had two opportunities to go. And that was the weird thing because in 95 and 96, I was doing some beach international, I started refereeing on the beach and more. And so I had a lot of opportunities to actually do more international beach stuff than I did indoor. So I had an opportunity to go either way. And what kind of got me to go toward my indoor was every time there's a course available for beach, it got canceled after like 96. They had some beach people go for 96 because we had the Olympics here in Atlanta. But then there wasn't a lot. We sent a couple people, but the courses just kept on falling through. They didn't have enough people, or I don't even know what the problems were. But I mean, one year it was like I got a call, get ready to go to China for your beach international course. And I was all excited, blah, blah, blah. Then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh, that got canceled. I was disappointed. And then a couple weeks after that, it was like, oh, there's an indoor course. Do you want to go? I took it, and that was the end of my beach for the most part.
Yeah, and well, for Miguelito at his time, he was one of the few people that has the two badges for
Yes.
beach and indoor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. It was like I wish I could have had the opportunity to do that, but by only picking one, that gives more opportunity for other people to go and referee.
yes, of course. Yeah, and well, he told me, Miguelito, that he was invited to decide on 2008. People from FIVB told him, "Hey, in Macau or Hong Kong, I don't remember. Please, Miguelito, help us. Hey, you have to choose our beach, indoor." And
Yeah.
well, he at that time he has a big experiences with beach, and he decided for beach.
I miss beach because it's outdoor. You get a great tan. Everyone's in board shorts and bikinis, and it's like being in Hawaii every day. You know, uh, but indoors is great too. I mean, the crowds are big. I mean, it's excellent when you have great volleyball, beach or indoor.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen the AVP the last 2 weekends in Long Beach. The AVP, well, it's a closed venue, and the referees use this electronic whistle.
Right. That's one of the things what we're talking about. If we go back to refereeing in a couple weeks, probably we're going to have to wear a face mask and use an electronic whistle, just because
Yes.
we don't want to be breathing where people are because the players are going to be below us. If we whistle, spit will go everywhere, and if we don't want anyone to get sick. With an electronic whistle, there's no air being circulated except for what we breathe. So
Yes, and do you miss beach, Ron?
oh, I miss beach a lot. I get opportunities because I get lucky enough to do uh, a lot of collegiate beach. I've done the national championships here in the U.S. for beach. Last year I did the Pac-12 championship and the West Coast championship for beach. This year I was supposed to do the Big West championships for beach, but it got canceled. We
Yes.
didn't have. I think we had 2 weekends of beach, and that was it.
And did you go to Gulf Shores, Alabama, for the
Yeah,
NCAA?
2 years ago. Right there above this one here, that
Yeah,
ball is the Gulf Shores beach volleyball for when I went. I
great
think that was
place, right?
yeah.
Gulf
That was a
Shores.
great event. Great staff. Had a great time. But yeah, so I was lucky enough to referee the national championship that one time. Yep.
Great. Magda Gleave says beach is the best.
Of course she does. She's our newest beach international referee. She went to the Continental course just in November, I believe.
She's a continental referee in beach, not indoor.
Yes,
All right.
yes. She picked beach.
Well, that course in Dominicana, I think Miguelito was the instructor.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm so
Magda,
sorry, Magna. I'm so sorry.
it wasn't my fault also.
Not my fault.
Please call Cristobal. Magda Gris also says it's quick adjustment with electronic whistle. Yeah. And Matias Castro says hello, greetings from Sinaloa, Mexico.
Excellent. Hello. Hola.
Hey, Ron, if you wanna taste the best seafood in the world, you have to go to Sinaloa.
I
Best
have to
seafood
go,
in
huh?
the world. Best seafood in the world.
All right.
Hey, Ron, if you do agree, if you have no complaints, we go to the pictures you sent to me?
Sure. You can show. I sent those pictures. You can show them, and we can talk about them. It's fine.
I don't know if they are ordered.
There's no order. I just picked some out. You
Perfect.
asked me for some, so I sent you some.
It's great. No problem.
Okay. Well, again, every time we go to events, we get pictures with everybody. And this was in Germany in Stuttgart. This is World League in Stuttgart. I believe this was Germany versus France.
Hey, and what about that mustache? You look like.
Oh yeah, that was a big mustache there.
I don't want to say who you like, who you look like, but you can imagine.
But it was a crazy time that year. I just decided to grow it, and I let it grow.
I know another Ron with that kind of look.
A lot of people ask me to grow it back, but it's tough. I actually grew a little one during COVID, but then I got a new job, and so I cut it off.
All right. Hey, great friends here.
Oh yeah.
Tom Blue, Jose Perez Bento.
Yeah. I want to say this was actually in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
I want to say this is when we had teams of 4 playing in World League, and this was Dallas.
I think that was a very, very interesting format with 4 teams over the weekend.
It was a weird format for sure.
Because I attended twice California, USA just receiving Russia, 1 game on Saturday, 1 game one game on Friday, 1 game on Saturday, and that's it.
Yeah. This was Brazil. This is the Club World Championships. I think the first year they had it.
Right.
Well, it wasn't the first year they had it, but it was like the first year they started bringing it back. I want to say this is 2012.
I don't think so, because the Club World Championships of Men in 2012 was in Doha, Qatar. I remember very well.
Oh, you know them all. Okay, all right. Let me.
Because a Mexican team went to that championship, club championship. Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
I know. Like I said, there's so many. I can look things up. Let's see. 2000.
The banner says Prefeitura de Betim is Brazil here.
It was in. It was in
Brazil.
2013. How about that? And Betim, Brazil, 2013. World Cup in 2011 in Japan.
with the great Andrei Senovich.
That's right. Papa.
And
Papa.
Papa?
Everyone wants to call him. He wants to be called Papa now because he's
Papa.
old. He's almost 60 years old and still refereeing.
Wow, great.
Yeah.
And who is the other guy?
Who is the other guy? You're putting me on the spot, and
All right, no
I'm gonna
problem.
look bad.
Sorry.
I can't remember everyone's names, but
Ron, this is your only World Cup, or did you attend another World Cup?
I only did one World Cup.
All
I've
right.
done two senior world championships, one for women, one for men.
Right.
Then I've done different 4 or 5 different age groups of world championships. I was down in Mexico for 18 and under women's, not too long, about two or 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years
17.
ago. So you know my career better than I know it.
I know a lot of volleyball. Sorry.
That's okay. Like I said, it's like I'm getting old. I can remember where I went, but I can hardly remember what year it is.
Okay. Ron, a question. I think, well, I think that the previous format of the World Cup, not the last years, but the previous, I think those were the great tournament in world volleyball because it's 8 teams fighting for 2 Olympic tickets. You know,
Correct. Yeah.
every day game you had to play every day with 1 or 2 poses. I don't remember, but last year, well, the qualification format changed, and the last year World Cup, I think it was pretty boring because a lot of B teams, no
Nobody
Olympic
cares. That's the
tickets.
whole thing. Nobody cares. Why do I want to go? It's such a long tournament. Why do I want to get beat up for no result? No
Not
for
earning nothing.
you don't earn some money and that's it.
And some ranking points. But I don't know. What do you think about this change in the format of the World Cup? I think right now World Cup, well, for the last year, is just another tournament.
Right. I
That's my
think
opinion.
yeah. I think World Championships and World Cup. When you're the winner, you should get a ticket to the Olympics.
Yeah,
That's my opinion, but
no, I also think that the World Cup format has to change in the next squad because with World Cup it used to be a great event for me. It, it's the most awaited tournament in the quad every 4 years.
yeah.
And right now the World Cup I think is dead. It's no one is interested in attending World
Yeah,
Cup.
I mean nobody. I mean, if you look at the attendance and what happened last year, there wasn't a lot going on.
Yes, of course.
But this is BTEM again, 2013.
With Willie, Denny,
Yeah,
Gabe
me.
Bradbury.
Yeah, Guy. But yeah, me and Denny have worked many events together. We've been lucky in that sense. I
Yeah,
think.
he's a great character and great referee.
Oh yeah, it between Andre and Denny, I've always had one of them probably at one of my the biggest events I've gone to every year. So,
Right. Octavio Medina, my friend in Seattle, says, Ron, I'm interested to start a career in refereeing in US.
Okay.
What should he do to contact their in
You
Seattle?
can't.
Which region is
Right. You contact Northern California region.
in
Ask
Seattle?
them
Seattle is Northern California.
what San Jose.
No, Seattle,
Oh,
Washington.
Seattle. Okay, I thought you
Seattle.
said San Jose, but
Seattle.
Seattle. Yeah, you would contact the region there and ask them about when are you going to hold a referee clinic. You sign up with USA Volleyball. You go to a clinic. You'd go to an in-person clinic. Then they teach you a little about refereeing. They'll do some on-court training, and then off you go. You'll referee some. You'll start off at a lower level, maybe 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds, but you learn how to referee. You learn how to manage the game, and it's fun. You know. but you start, we have so many teams, we don't have enough referees. We need everyone possible, especially if you're young, so you could have a career of 20 years, 30 years like I did.
He's not so young, but well, he's interested, and that's
It's
an
okay.
advantage.
Again, there's a place for everybody.
Yeah, great.
There's a place for everybody, no matter what age you are. But the younger you are, you're going to have a longer career and more opportunities. Older, you can still put in some great years and have a lot of fun. Especially if you're good with kids. You have a great time, you enjoy it, you make it fun for them,
and earn some money.
And you can earn some good money. I mean, we're almost paying like $17, $18 for brand new referees, and that's for like 1 hour's work.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So you do 10 games in a day, that's a lot of money. Go, you could move to the next one.
You will be amazed of how little the referees in Mexico are paid. I rather decide not to tell you.
Not to tell. Well, this is how old we were. When I first started refereeing, we didn't get paid until the semifinals. So we would referee all day for nothing and get paid for 2 or 3 matches, and that's it. So, and we got paid maybe $30
a day.
Yeah, for the day, for the whole day. Wow. So we did a lot of it for free when I was growing, but nowadays in the US, you can make some pretty good money. I mean, you can make $400 a weekend. They're long days. You get there at 7 a.m. in the morning and you might leave at 10 p.m. But, you work 2 days a week, you can make $400.
Wow, very, very good money.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, I'm trying to think. This was in Colorado, I believe. This was NORCECA Championships.
3 years ago, right? In Colorado.
Yes. Yep. Colorado, three years ago.
Abreu, maybe the Dominicans or the Venezuelans?
I think this is the Dominicans versus your team, Mexico.
Oh, yes. Yes. Alejandro Barajas is spiking. Yeah. Great guy.
Yeah, great match. This was actually for the Dominica to make it so they could go to World Championships.
And they qualified to World Championships.
They qualified because they beat Mexico. I thought Mexico, this was only a 4-setter, I believe, but I was surprised that Mexico, well, I want to say one of your players got hurt that cost, that kind of cost you the match. And it was not in this match, but it was in a match before. So you were down a little bit on your strength and on your power of play. But
yes, because a lot of those players were coming from Rio, from the Olympics. 1, 2, or 3 has retired, but 6 or 7 players of that team were in the Olympics previous year. But yeah, I remember very well that occasion, because for Dominican it was huge news. Hey, we are going to the World Championships, and a year later, 2 years ago, they came to Mexico to do some high altitude training. Dominican. Yeah, the coach is a very, very nice guy. He's Venezuelan. He's Alejandro Gutierrez.
But now that was an excellent match. I was lucky to be first referee on that match.
Right.
There's Juhi, who you're going to interview Saturday.
On Saturday, Yuhi Kang. Yes.
But this was, I want to say, this was World Championships women in 2010. Yeah. Okay. I want to say in Japan. So,
right.
Yeah.
Tom Blue is retired, right? He's retired from instruction.
Yeah, he does some advisement for the international referees, but he doesn't do a lot.
Right.
he comes to our national championship and helps us out at the open level and helps out the international referees, but he doesn't do any refereeing or anything else for anything. He's retired. He put lots of years in.
He does still lives in Red Oak in Virginia.
Yeah, he still lives in Virginia.
Right.
A collegiate match, actually in Arkansas. I just sent you some pictures. It was me being first referee at, thought it was a good shot of me, so I sent it.
This is a college game in which conference?
For Southland, for Carlos Rodriguez, who we were talking about, who assigns me, who said hello. This is one of his schools or his conferences, and I was up there in Arkansas, in Conway, Arkansas, at Central University.
Central University of Arkansas.
Yep.
I think it's the College of Scottie Pippen, right? Central Arkansas.
Of what kind of?
I think it's the College of Scottie Pippen, the Chicago Bulls player.
It is. Scottie Pippen went there. That's yes.
I know a lot of sports. Sorry.
Yeah, nope.
Just for being curious, how much pay does the referee for a game like this one in a collegiate level?
Basically, collegiate pays different levels, different amounts, depends on what conference you're doing. But I believe we get about $295 for one match at the university level. $295, yes. So
that's way much better than Mexico.
So if you work but the highest paid, I want to say it's almost $500 a match.
500 for the referee or for the whole crew?
No, for the one referee, and the second referee gets the same amount. The line judge,
yes, for a game.
For one game, yes.
In the collegiate level, Division 1?
At the Division 1 level. But then at some divisions, we get 100. So don't think that all games are like that.
No, maybe Pac-12, yes, they can make 500, right?
That's what I'm saying. The Pac-12, the SEC, the Big Ten, they're all right there about $500.
You want to know how much this gets
55. I know, because like in Brazil, they do the Division 1, top level, and they get $55 or $65 US for one match. I know.
Oh, that's a lot. In Mexico, maybe in the best scenario, for the first referee in a collegiate Division 1 game, maybe $10.
I'm coming down to referee.
Oh, yeah. No. 10, 10 is the best. No, not any referee in Division 1 is making even $15 a game. There's no way.
Well, that's why a lot of us, we can be a full-time referee, because if we do a lot of Division 1 matches, we can make a good living. It's a very tough living if you're married, you have kids, but now that I'm single, it's a little bit easier to manage your money, and you get to travel, and you have to travel a lot to try to make it because if you make it a full-time job, you have to try to fill your days. You try to work as many matches as possible. So.
Yes, I know. How many Division 1 college games can you make a week? 1, 2?
Normally you do
when the season starts.
Yeah. Normally, if like for me, I do maybe between 3 and 4 Division 1 matches a week, and then fill in maybe with one high school match, like on a Tuesday. Maybe on Thursday, I might do a junior high match, and then do college matches on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there are times where I've worked 14 days straight, a match every day, Division I for 14 days straight.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. Great. Okay, thanks, Ron. Don't come
I'm
to the
sorry.
north of
I'm
Mexico.
sorry I deflated your, how much you made in Mexico.
No. What can I tell you? It was for me. It was great. I have been refereeing. Well, right now, not so much, but I started refereeing in '91 when I was starting college in 19 years old. I have to say I'm very grateful to volleyball because I paid my college, my 5 years of college, refereeing games. I travel a lot. I know all this country, Mexico, traveling with volleyball events. I'm very grateful, but it is what it is. Um, Here right now, uh, there's no referee that can make $15 a game, Division One. There's no way. You have to when when I was refereeing a lot in my early 20s. I refereed 40 to 50 games a week from Monday to Sunday.
That's a lot of matches.
A lot of matches. You have a
Yeah.
lot of experience because you have
Oh
a lot
yeah.
of practice.
Right.
But yeah, you have when all that money games, it is great, because it's
Hmm.
40 games a week.
Oh
But you
yeah.
have to work a lot, and I don't complain. It was just my reality.
Right.
It's
This
Puerto
was,
Rico, right?
yeah, this is Puerto Rico, 2012. I think this is January 2012. This was Guy Bradbury's last event, and one of my first events, uh, one of my first big events, because it was the Olympic qualifier in 2012, and the U.S. has not qualified yet, and this is a NORCECA qualifier, and I got to referee, so it was a very good event. So
Great.
I was lucky enough to work with Guy on his last event. So, and now he's in charge of, you know, he's like second in command to Willie. So
Yes, I know. I know.
there's my mustache again.
Yes, I can see clearly.
Yeah. This was the USA Cup when USA played Iran.
I remember it very well that event. Yeah.
Yep. So I think I have 2 or 3 pictures of this event. So
Aaron, which is the player in the current USA volleyball team that impressed you the most?
impresses me the most.
Yeah.
Well, Matt Anderson, he's just an incredible player, but I think the U.S. team does so well because they all mesh together, and all the guys play well together with each other, and it's a great team. Great coached. I think the guys play well. The girls play. Karch does a great job with the women's team. John does a great job with the guys team. Uh, it I've been lucky enough to where I get to see both of them and be involved a little bit with our national teams. So
Well, yeah. Well, for me, as a fan, Matt Anderson is great, and I think Micah Christensen is
Micah's
top
great,
class setter.
great hands. You know, a classic example of saving the ball from going into the plane of the net, making a great set.
Yes,
You know,
and also Micah serves very well and block very well, and he also can spike very well the ball.
oh yeah, he's a great player. He's a good beach player. You know,
Well, it's come from Hawaii. Why not?
yeah, I know, but he's a great all around player.
Yeah, and well, I also like my buddy Taylor Sander.
Oh,
He's
Taylor, yeah. Well,
great.
Taylor jumps out of the sky. Being short like me, and he jumps 42 inches. So
Yes, I first met Taylor Sander when he came to Mexico City for Pan Am Cup in 2013, and I thought this guy is great. He jumps a lot. And next year in the World League of 2014, he was named MVP. and 1 year before, he was playing Pan Am Cup.
Yeah. Taylor, he can jump super
Yes,
high.
a lot.
Just a funny picture.
This
My
guy's
good,
from Puerto Rico or Dominicana?
no, he is from Trinidad Tobago. My
Oh, yeah,
good friend Brian Charles.
that's right.
Brian,
He's a little, he's little.
he's little compared to me, but he's a great guy. And so he wanted, we put him on the stool, and we got to see eye to eye. Trying to think. I think this was a World League in Wichita one year.
Wichita, Kansas, yeah.
Wichita, Kansas. I kind of remember different events based upon the uniform. That's the old Mikasa uniform and the badge. What year did we wear those badges? Oh yeah, way back in 2003 or whatever, 2004, Wichita, Kansas.
Hey, around which uniform did you enjoy the most? The Asics, the Mikasa, or I don't know if you tried the Mizuno.
Oh yeah, well, the old Mizuno was good.
That was good.
Every uniform had something good about it. Some of them are just a little more too PJ, pajama like. But the nice thing about the international uniform is you can fold it and put it into your travel bag, and when you take it out, you hold it up. It looks nice.
Right.
With the USA uniform, if you fold that up, your pants are all wrinkled, your shirt's all wrinkled. You can't fold. You got to have it on a hanger, and hopefully it doesn't get crunched up somehow. But yeah, there's been some nice pants. I mean, the Mizuno pants were excellent. I mean, those were probably one of the nicest pants. But the pants now are a little bit, I think, too thin. They could be just a little bit thicker, but they're great for summertime because we go to a lot of events we go to. They don't really have air conditioning all the time. I mean, we go to Cuba, there's no air conditioning.
No air conditioning in Cuba.
And the great thing that we've done too for our uniforms, we could never wear short sleeve. We have short sleeve shirts now. So that's awesome for everybody.
Right.
So
And which whistle did you prefer? Mikasa, Molten, Fox?
I use a Fox 40. That's the only one I've basically used.
Classic.
No,
Classic or mini?
The classic.
Classic.
Yeah, I don't use the mini. I've tried multiple ones, but I just enjoy the classic, Fox 40 classic.
What do you think about the new Mikasa?
There's some really good whistles out there, and it just depends on how your mouth forms around it. And again, it just you get used to one, and that's what you kind of stick with all your whole career. But I remember, I think at World Cup or World Championships in Japan, they were trying to create new whistles. So we were trying out new whistles, and they wanted our feedback, and never really saw any come to market. But lots of good stuff comes out there. I mean, there's some great whistles out there, Now we're talking about handheld whistles. So there's going to be a whole nother market of handheld whistles coming out now.
Yes, of course. Well, I really, personally, I prefer the Mini Fox.
The mini, oh yeah.
Yeah, the Mini.
Well, this was 2 years ago in Bulgaria. I was lucky to be in Bulgaria. And
there's Yuri, and who is the other guy?
Scott from Canada.
All right.
Yeah. Just it was an excellent event. That I thought that was a real classic picture because it had the the banner underneath. We caught the banner.
Yes.
This was the refresher course 2 years ago in Dominica, and there's your friend Young Park we were talking about, and Patty.
Yeah, Patty.
Yep. So
the other two guys are Americans also.
no, again, you put me on the spot, and I can't think everyone's names.
Sorry, last time.
Canada, and I should have wrote down I should have took notes, but I sent those pictures late last night, and
no problem, don't worry.
But
well, you can clearly see the pictures of Willie and Persvento.
Oh yes, they were presenters, and we had also Guy was there. We had this was the first time we had a refresher course in my entire career as an official. They had them at the beginning of my career, but not in Norseca. They had them in other countries, but we had one, and we talked about it was a great event, and they were talking about having one every year about just learning, because that's how you learn. You get together and we talk about situations and show video, and it's all about experiences. That's how you learn. So
yeah, I remember that event. It was also streamed by.
Yes, some of it was streamed, and now I think Norseca is going to have 2 or 3 scorekeeping courses coming up in the next couple weeks.
Well, on July 17 was the first.
Okay.
2 weeks ago, I think. Well, Dennis Espedes says, "Hi, Ron. How are you?"
Oh, I'm doing great. Glad to hear from you.
Tan Nguyen says that this guy is Andrew Ruff from Canada.
Andrew Ruff, there you go. See, hey, if you want to know who somebody is, ask Tong. He knows everybody. He is the socialite of USA Volleyball.
More than Norio Kimura, you think?
Yes.
Oh, here's Ron in the beach.
I think this is at the Olympic Training Center in Chula Vista, California. Right. I think this was for 21 and under men. We were having an Olympic qualifier, and I got to go down, and great little place to have some beach volleyball, not on the beach, but everyone gets to stay in the dorms. Everyone is treated like an Olympic athlete, and you get to play for 3 days, and it was a great little time.
Great.
I've been refereeing Special Olympics since 1997. I volunteer my time. This was in LA. I want to say, let's see, we had Tong will know. He just went, I think last year or whatever. You can see Tong right there next to me. But we have, I had a great time volunteering at Special Olympics, and that was my third world event. I did when we had it in LA, in North Carolina, and I went to Ireland.
Tang says LA 2015.
2015. See, I knew he would know. He knows everything. A little more beach volleyball. This was Chicago 2012.
AVP event?
AVP. This is the AVP Chicago 2012. And this was the finals. So I was lucky enough to referee the finals, Great. So I have a little bit of experience refereeing on the beach also. Here's Mexico 3 years ago, 2017.
Veracruz.
In Veracruz.
Veracruz and Cordoba.
Yeah. I was not lucky enough to referee in Veracruz. I was in Cordoba the entire time through every round, and I got to do the women's. Well, there's only women's, but I got to do the finals as the second referee.
Yeah, well, in Cordoba, there's not a lot to see in Cordoba.
No, but had some great food. We went to different restaurants all the time. Had some great food, and it was a great time.
Great. And Gay Bradbury here was the referee coach.
He was one of our referees coaches. Yes.
Well, since when is called referee coach instead of referee delegate? I think it's three,
Oh,
4 years ago, right?
about 3 or 4 years ago, instead of being delegate, because basically just like a coach with the team, he's coaching us to be a better referee. Hey, you need to modify this a little bit, do this a little bit better. Let's, maybe take your time making a decision, because sometimes, everything's under review now. We have challenge. So we get a chance to say, oh, that's really not challengeable, but we talked about it, so we kind of learn, because we're still learning about challenge. Challenge is still very, very, it's a difficult part of refereeing, because now these coaches are getting smarter and they're using it as a tool to delay the game, to figure things out, because the video is so good that it's seeing things that the human eye can't see, and they're taking a chance that when it's on video, it's going to go their way. So.
Yeah, for sure.
My friend Denny and Papa.
Papa.
Yeah, this was VNL finals last year in
Chicago.
In Chicago.
Right. How was the environment over there? Crazy, right?
It was a good event. I think because we didn't have it at Hoffman Estates, and there were a lot of logistical things that were going on, but it was a good event. And I think the U.S. was supposed to host for 3 years in a row, but this year was canceled. So we'll see what happens for the following year. But
and the 3 years in Hoffman States?
No, just USA was supposed to host for 3. I think we signed a contract with FIVB, at the beginning of 2019 to host for 3 years, but.
Oh yes, I know about that. Hopefully they can go once for California or Dallas.
Well, that's what I was thinking. If we were hosting 3 times, Chicago, LA, or somewhere on the West Coast and somewhere on the East Coast, that would have been, gives everyone a chance to see Olympic, volleyball at the very best, because we don't have a lot of FIVB events here in the U.S.
Yeah,
so.
And in beach, known for the last 2 years.
Oh, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't work beach volleyball from like 2003. I think 2000. I did 2003, and then we didn't have an event for like 10 years. Then 2013.
And that's crazy, because
it was something crazy. Yeah.
It's the United States. It's where the sport was invented.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we had the reigning championships, Misty May, 3-time Olympian, and we couldn't host,
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It's totally crazy that we couldn't host. One of my favorite pictures of all my years, super setter from Iran.
Super setter. I totally agree with you. Super setter.
Yeah, he's amazing, but he just wanted to complain about a touch or something that didn't go his way, and I just told him, just go play. This was the USA Cup. It was a friendly game. Everybody wants to win, but we can only do so much, and we didn't have replay, so there's no, we basically play on.
Yeah.
I told him, go back there and play.
Yeah, as your position is clearly saying, hey, go to play with the fingers.
it's not always nice to point, but instead of giving him a card, I just kind of told him, go back and play.
And with your mustache and the maroon beard. Talking about setters, which setter do you think is the best in the world? I think Maruf is one of them, but I really like the Checo a lot.
That's the whole thing. It's like everybody that comes out can be a great setter. It depends on the team, but
But which is the one that impressed you the most?
I don't.
Come on. You don't have the referee hat right now.
No, it's hard to say because everyone does a great job. I mean, at that level, it's not like at the collegiate level. Sometimes one player is so much better than the rest. Everybody is good at this level,
Right. Yeah.
This was Grand Prix finals in Omaha, 2015.
With Susana, Yohi.
Yep.
And the others, I don't know the others. But a tank can help us with that.
He'll probably chime on in. Go ahead.
Right.
You can move on. World Cup 2011.
Well, just backing to this picture, there's a great volleyball crowd in Nebraska, right?
Oh, that's why we held it, because
it was full house at that time.
It was full house because the women were playing, and this was the first time we won the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
The U.S. won the women won the Grand Prix.
Yeah, the year after you won the World Championship in 2014.
Correct. So it was a great, with Karch, and so it was another great great time. Got to see great play. I think guys in every one of my pictures.
I think, and Tom Blue.
Yeah. Especially here in the U.S., But this is where I met you in Long Beach. This is Long Beach. Yes.
With Daniel Gonzalez from Mexico.
Yeah.
And Tom Blue, Ricardo Borroto from Cuba, Hansel Leon from the U.S.
Yep. He was there as a helper.
Yeah.
Yep. But me and Hansen have done a lot of events together, and hopefully he'll get to do some more when my career is over and he takes my place.
Great.
This was the finals in Mexico, and we were just laughing. Referees are, that's the whole thing. This is her first final ever, and it's like, let's have some fun, let's do a great job, and just relax,
Yes, because at the end it's just volleyball,
It's just volleyball. But it was a great time.
Right.
But she's going to be she's a young referee, and I'm an older referee, so it's kind of like new and young, but the new people need experience, and so she's going to be a great, add to the top referees in the world. So
I will not ask who is she from.
I can look it all up. Like I said, I have notes on everything, but I just can't pull anything off the top of my head.
Thanks, please help us. Mary Carmen, please help us.
Mary Carmen was there. She would know. This was at the again at the Special Olympics, and you know who that is, right?
Yeah, Donald Sokshaw.
Yeah, great setter from the U.S.
From Albania.
Yeah, but he played for the U.S. team.
Yes, of course, Olympic gold medalist in 2008. Do you know that his son is playing at
USC? I reffed him through his high school career, but this was funny because we've known each other when he played in college and all the way through his Olympic years and his international career. But this was like a combination team where we had special, we had Special Olympic players playing with referees and movie stars and Olympians, and we played against each other, and it was awesome, because we just had the best time, and it just because lot of players don't think that referees can play, and so
A lot of players may say, "Hey, you're a referee because you can't play."
that's right. Well, I can't play at his level, but I can play. And we just, we just had a great time. We had a great time with the kids. We had a great time with all the other athletes and participants that came in. It was an excellent time. Everybody got medals. I still have my Olympic medal up on the wall. Like I said, it's one of my favorite memories of just being interactive with the players and everyone that came to volunteer at UCLA. But this is the kind of fun you can have as an official, and you have great friends and you get to know people from all around the world. So
Thanks for sharing, Ron. And well, I'll be back to this photo because Mary Carmen Duran says is Nurper from Turkey.
from Turkey, yes.
And Dennis Esperes also says she's from Turkey.
Yeah. I'm going to have to write 10,000 sorry letters. I forgot your name tomorrow. I'm blaming you now.
Well, she's in Turkey. Over there, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, so probably she's not watching.
No, but she'll get an email from somebody.
From
okay,
Papa.
that's and Papa, yeah, and that's Heidi Kraft from Germany. I can tell you that right now. Okay, so
yeah. Are you sure?
yes, Heidi Kraft from Germany, and this was a World Cup in 2000. No, this was Olympic qualifier in Japan 2012, right after I did the qualifier for Norseka in Long Beach, and I flew straight to Japan from there to come over here.
And I think Daniel was also there, right? Am I wrong? Daniel Gonzalez? I'm pretty sure.
He might have been. He could have been at a different site. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
This was a huge match. This was Serbia versus Japan, and if this was a weird situation. If Serbia wins in 4, Japan doesn't get to go. If so Japan had to win, and if Japan won in 3, or if Japan won in 3 or 4, then Serbia would get to go. It went 5 sets, and it was crazy. The fans were going nuts. It was, and both teams ended up going to the Olympics that year from this match. So it was a great match.
It was a full house. I looked.
It was a full house. Like I said, Japan needed the crowd behind them to win. And Japan actually lost the first 2 sets.
Wow.
And came back and won.
You went the first or second?
I was the first referee.
Right.
Not sure where this was.
Team NL is Netherlands.
Maybe it was Netherlands. Yep. Netherlands. Yep. World League.
Right. When it was called World League.
One of the last years it was World League. Yep.
Yeah. And I think this is also Long Beach, right?
This was Long Beach. Yep. 2012.
Yeah.
This is 2018 World Championships.
Oh, this opposite from Netherlands is a crazy guy.
Oh yeah, he's a
great player.
Great player, yep.
Who is the other referee? Oh, sorry, no questions.
No questions.
Thank, please help us.
I can look it up.
All right.
Here's college days of me playing at Fresno State.
You are number 13, right?
I was number 13, if you can believe that's me. Yep.
Which position did you play?
I was outside hitter.
Outside here.
Yep.
Is the Fresno State program still working?
Oh yeah, our club team has won the national championship multiple times. Yeah.
No, I mean in college because Stanford has dropped their men's program.
We're just a club team, so we continue to
Club team.
play. But
Right.
yeah, the women's team plays Division One.
All right.
But yeah, we're a club team, and we won the national club championships multiple times. We have a
Right.
very good program, and so we're lucky. We were lucky. We had there's lots of good volleyball, boys volleyball in the Central Valley. So
Right.
having a little, again, got to have fun as a referee. If you're not having fun, you might as well quit.
Yes, of course.
But there's a time to have fun and there's a time to be serious. And before the match, you can have a little fun, but then you got to put the serious face on when that ball starts, once that first serve goes up. This was last year VNL down in Brazil.
Right.
Yep. Me and Denny got to work together. I want to say this was maybe Russia, Brazil playing each other.
Right.
This is in Peru, in Lima, Challenger, the finals. Ricardo was first referee and I was second referee. So this is the final crew for the finals with Nooper. Having just another picture, but we weren't laughing as much, but we were still having a good time. But we had a great crowd. Look at that crowd, full, packed house,
in Cordoba.
Yep. Great picture of when I was in Cuba. Good friends,
Francisco Medina on the left, and the other guy,
Yep.
I don't remember who is.
Yep. Both are from Cuba, and we've worked many matches together. That's the funny thing. It's like you get to work with the same people sometimes because they take people from like that area, and it's like, okay, this group goes over here, and but in Cuba, this is like the most famous place to play sports.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, of
so
course.
I was very lucky to get to referee in that venue.
Deportiva, Sporting City.
Yes.
City, Ciudad Deportiva. Yeah, great. But no air conditioning.
No air conditioning, not even close.
No, it's Cuba. There are a lot of volleyball personalities I want to talk with in Cuba, but it's almost impossible.
It's almost impossible because they don't have very good bandwidth, and they almost lock them down. They don't want a lot of information getting out, but it's a great country to go to, and beautiful country.
And a great volleyball culture.
Oh, volleyball, yeah. It's just so sad that a lot of their players go to Europe and play instead of staying in Cuba, because Cuba was a powerhouse back in the 80s. They were tough to beat.
Mari Carmen says this guy is Omelio. Yeah, Omelio.
Emilio?
Omelio.
Back in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Dr. Way, the old president of the FIVB.
Yep.
Reffing a little beach volleyball on a rainy day, and I was calling lines.
Yeah, you don't look so happy.
Well, try being rained on for 12 hours in a row. But again, I love volleyball so much. I put my days out to line judge. If I need to, I'll do whatever is necessary, even in the rain. Uh, but yeah, that was a long day that day in the rain.
Where?
I want to say this was Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati.
The AVP and the FIVB had one event in the U.S. and I got lucky enough to go down to Ohio and referee.
Okay.
Uh, Grand Prix, last year Grand Prix before it went to VNL, and want to say this Czech Republic. Two, 2000 in Chicago, one of the world events. It was, I want to say it's the Challenger Cup that we had for beach volleyball,
Yeah.
where the players got points for the Olympics. And this is, you know, I was lucky enough to get to referee. This was in Canada, Reffing World League in Canada. That's the great thing nowadays, because they put on the floor where they're playing at, so we know. 2012 World League. I
think it's Russia.
I think this is Russia.
Kaliningrad or
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
want to say in Kaliningrad.
Kaliningrad. Beautiful place, right?
Yeah, right on the sea. Talk about great seafood. Kaliningrad was, yeah. So now that you mention it, yeah, I want to say this is Kaliningrad.
Yeah, it's Japan versus Serbia, I think.
Serbia. Yep. Japan and Serbia.
Hey, that's all.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. 42
Unbelievable.
pictures. Yeah, very fast, but very entertaining.
Well, again, just you can see I've traveled the world. I've been lucky enough to go to many, many places, meet many people. I forget your name, but
All right.
I'll buy everyone a beer next time I see you.
Okay. Hope so. Hope so. Hey, Ron, which is the country did you enjoy the most for food, for people, for the culture, for the level of playing?
Well, I've been lucky enough where when I go overseas, it just seems like it's the top events. So I get to see the top players. So there is no one versus the other. But I've worked youth events, and it's different play, but it's still they're fighting just as hard as the senior people. Every country has something to give in food. There's good food ever. I love going to Italy, going to Mexico, Japan. I love sushi. I should have sent you that picture, me sitting in front of a plate of sushi that had like, $200 worth of sushi. It was huge. It happened to be in the hotel. I ate there almost every day, and the guy, we got to know each other. I brought him some souvenirs. He'd bring out all this stuff, and we had the end of the tournament party there with all the referees, and he did a great job for us. I should have gave you that one, but I love food. I love going out and having a good time with the other referees. When we get done, going out there and maybe having a few beers or some drinks, and we get to talk and just get to meet new friends around the world. So I've been lucky.
Ron, how many countries did you visit for volleyball?
How
For
many
thanks volleyball?
countries?
How many
I
countries?
Well, my thing is, that you think about top countries for volleyball, and you think about like Brazil. If you won world championships, Grand Prix, the Olympics, you would think those are the top countries and I've been lucky enough to go to Russia, Brazil, Italy, Poland. I've been all over. I wish I could go back my last year and visit all of them. But I like little countries too. I've been to Costa Rica, I've been to Puerto Rico, all these little countries. You don't get to go to these little countries for big events because they don't have, they don't have the venues that the FIVB wants you to have to host. So you go to these same countries all the time for big events.
All right.
And that's what let me
no,
finish.
tell me.
Yeah.
No, come on.
So that's what I've missed in my career is kind of like what I mentioned, like I get to go here and then our other officials get to go to the NORCECA events. I've missed out on NORCECA. I haven't gone to that many NORCECA events, but I've missed out going to Mexico. I mean, there are referees that have gone to Mexico every year, and I've gone 2 or 3 times,
Yes.
So.
Mrs. Perez says that you love the technical meeting. Why?
I love the technical meeting. No, we don't have technical meetings no more.
No, don't you like it?
Yeah, we like the technical meeting afterwards.
Oh yeah, of course. Hey Ron, tell me something. If it were up on you, which rule could you change for volleyball?
What rule?
Yeah.
Well, I think there'd be 2 rules. One, let's get rid of 2 hits. If I'm playing the ball one time, it's 1 hit. If I'm playing it like this, no matter how it goes, it's 1 attempt, 1 hit. If I play it this way 2 times, that's 2 hits. Then there's no question how the ball's played. Who cares what direction it goes? Then it's the same for everybody. I don't care if you're 5 years old or 105. You play it like this, one hit. Also,
in the same action, right? In the same action.
One action. Like I said, not like 1, then 2. One action. Doesn't matter how it goes. It's just 1 hit. And let's get rid of that rule. So.
And the other.
The other would be, let's spread everyone out during the serve. People are screening way too much now. They're all screening and then the ball's going over. The ball's going to go over you every time the ball's served, but they're intentionally lining up and they just move where the whole group goes like this and then the server serves right over top of it. That's not good. I mean, why do we allow outdoor to put their hand up and say, you need to move, and indoor, we just let you screen? The rules are supposed to be getting closer together, and that's one that don't be close together. You don't need to be. If my position is position, number 4, why am I squeezed into position 3 and then move out to position 4? I should just start in position 4. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes, I know. So, but there's no a lot of calls for screening.
No, because they tell us not to call it, but we can call it. I mean, I called it a couple years ago in college where they lined up. And again, if you just line up and serve, so be it. But if you line up and everyone's lined up and then the coach goes no, and the whole team goes like this, whoop, and then the ball goes over top of you, that's probably screening. So I ended up calling, because if the ball's low and, if the passer cannot see the path of the ball, it's a screen.
Yeah, because the thing you want to allow calling screens is that the receiver is not obstructed by the front row.
You should be able to. So those would be the 2. Everything else is good, All right. Net playing the ball fine, but if I'm not playing the ball, why can't I touch the net? So that's a great rule. I think also like for FIVB, if the player is not playing the ball, I should be able to touch on the other side as long as I don't interfere or have dangerous contact, kind of like what we do in the US. Because just think, for FIVB, if the ball is in the back free zone and I step underneath the net, that's a fault. We're supposed to call it. And if we miss it, they can challenge and it will be upheld. You see what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with the play, but it's still a fault. But
yes, I know.
Yeah.
Ron, what can you tell? What can you tell to the young referees that are starting? I mean, maybe 19, 20, 21 years old. Which points they have to make to put attention in the at the beginning of their careers as a referee? I mean, not all of them want to be an international referee,
No.
but they want to be a good referee. Which advice will give you to them?
Well, number one is know the rules by what it says, the verbiage of the rule. Don't make things up and say blah, blah, blah when it's supposed to be this. You know, if you say the rule, verbatim, exactly what the rule says,
To talk
then
in volleyball language. I call it to talk in volleyball language.
it's volleyball language. Then you can now make a judgment based on that rule. But what a lot of times people go, oh, the ball spun like on 2 hits. That's not part of the rule.
Or the ball sounds when it touches
Yeah,
the
the ball
hand.
sound, or I took it low.
That's not a fault.
No, that's not a fault. If I
The
take
rule
it from
book.
up here and bring it way down here and then bring it back up here, that's prolonged
You're
contact,
catching
and
the
then I'm
ball.
catching the ball. But I could take the ball low and just set it like this. This is what people don't realize. I can underhand set the ball.
Of course.
That's not a fault, but they think, well, you played it underhand. It's a fault. No, it doesn't say that. You can't make up what the rule states. You can only judge on what has happened. But knowing what the rule is number one. A lot of our referees cannot tell us what the rules are. You don't have to say rule 3.11 is this, but you need to know the definition of a block.
The arc hit is this. The block is this.
Right,
The
like
serve is
right,
this.
like a block. A person, a player close to the net, reaching high. It didn't say jumping, and that's what a lot of people think too. Well, I jumped. It doesn't have anything to do with jumping. I can be standing if I'm reaching higher than the top of the plane of the net and I'm near the net and the ball's coming from the opponent and I touch it, that's a block,
Yeah, of course.
But a lot of people don't think that jumping is part of it. No, jumping has nothing to do with it.
Or for example, in the back row attack fault, a lot of people say, hey, the player jumps. That's not the fault. The player touched the 3-meter line. That's not the fault.
Right. It's at the time of contact. Is the ball completely above the plane of the net or partly in the plane of the net or completely below? You have to make that judgment. But if you guess or you make up, well, they jumped, that's not the fault. So knowing what the rule states is number one, and doing as much as you can, do as many matches as you can, self-evaluate and watch other people and have a philosophy that is yours. You can't take my philosophy. My philosophy will not work for you and you and you. Part of my philosophy will work for you. And that's the whole thing. To make it your own, you have to get a philosophy from many, many people, and then it becomes yours. You just can't take my philosophy and say, this is the way I'm going to do it. No, it doesn't work for you. You are your own person. And that's what I like as a referee is each person is an individual. It's like an athlete. Not every baseball player throws exactly the same. Every referee doesn't have to be exactly the same. We're our own person. We're our own personality.
With our own style.
Right. We have to be very similar, but not exactly alike. And we are not robots. I don't like people that are like, you have to be like, we're not a robot.
45 degrees.
We
Palms of your
that's
hands.
right. That does not make you a referee. Be your own person, have your own style. Don't be out there in left field and do weird stuff, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, of course.
Have fun out there, and if you're doing that, you'll have a good time. And when you're having a good time, everybody enjoys it. The players, the fans, yourself, So when everyone's enjoying it, you're doing a great job because you're the conductor out there. You're making that thing flow. But if you don't make it flow well, then it's like everyone's all confused. So.
Yes, of course. And what can you tell to some guys, some especially young guys, that they have a very good reach of 2 or 3 or 4 good games, and good games means the coach didn't yell to me, and they say, "Hey, I'm 20, but I have a reach of 3 or 4 very good games, so I deserve to be in Division One. I deserve to be the first referee." What can you tell that kind of guys?
Well, I think that we all have good games and we all have bad games. I don't care what level you ref. I mean, I've refereed low division, 3 game. I don't want to say division like in college, but I mean like junior high games, and I felt that I made some mistakes that I shouldn't have made there, and it's a junior high game, but you have to learn from it. I think that as leaders in volleyball, we have to give opportunities to the newer referees, kind of like what I was lucky enough to be second referee with Nooper, that was first referee. And again, that was her first big final, I believe. And it gives you opportunity. But when you work with an experienced referee that's willing to give back, you can learn from. Even if you make mistakes, they can cover you a little bit, but you have to be willing to accept some criticism and learn. Not like, I've done a couple matches, I know everything now. That's just going to get you into trouble. But again, try to do as many matches as possible. And when other people start recognizing that you are doing a good job on a consistent level, you will get the better matches. You'll have opportunities to do better matches. But if you force yourself and say, I deserve this, no one's really going to give you an opportunity. So just be seen, get out there and volunteer. You saw me out there doing line judging. I'm out there as much as possible because I love the game. So if you love the game, just go out there and referee and have fun.
Yes, of course. Yes, I totally agree with you. Um, Ron, I have to ask you, which Mexican food do you like the most?
Well,
Real Mexican food.
real Mexican food. I love making fajitas. Because basically they're tiny tacos. You shove everything in there, and it's great. You can put shrimp in there, chicken, beef fajitas, whatever you want. And I love cheese and everything that goes on Mexican food. So I love fajitas.
Great. And well, talking about drinks, it's obvious, Corona.
I love beer. Beer, any kind of beer. When I'm in Europe, I'm drinking European beer, and
Oh, in Germany, you
that's
were
right. Yep.
the Disneyland for you.
They got those big beers in Germany.
Yes, of course. Ron, which Morris do you think is coming for you? I mean, you told us you are 54 right now. You
I'll
probably
be
will
50.
retire.
I'll be 54 in 2 weeks. So
Okay.
send me all your presents. I'm going to be 54. So.
Okay, so probably next year we'll retire from international refereeing.
I'll be. Yep. I'll be
So,
retiring. It'll be a sad day for me.
but you will keep refereeing in the U.S., right?
Yes, it, it's probably going to be slowing down for me a little bit, but I hopefully I can still referee for a few more years. I think I can probably referee to about 60.
All
You
right.
know, at a good level. I don't want to be refereeing and not do a good job because it's not fair to the players, and that's one of the reasons why I became a referee was that I thought I could do a good job because I hated playing, and then it's like they don't do a good job as well. What I thought was as good of job they could have, but lack of experience, they just don't see the play. Lots of stuff could be happening, but you don't understand that as a player, and especially a young player like in college. You don't have that mentality of why the officials don't make a better call. Not
Yes.
saying that it's the correct call or whatever, or it's like sometimes it's like that ball was clearly in. Why did you call out? Uh, so I just tried to make the best. I thought what I do is try to make the best call possible for the information I've received in that play. So the line judges help you, the second referee, the player, everyone kind of gives you a little hint of what the play was. And now as a good referee, you have to come up with the best possible decision every time.
Yes,
Uh,
totally agree with you, Ron. Bobby Marshall says, "Don't forget the extra cheese."
oh yeah, extra cheese. I
You
love
love cheese.
I like cheese. So you can put queso, you know, shredded cheese, but my fajitas get overfilled. There's too much. I put too much in everyone.
Do you like um, the spicy chili?
Not so spicy, but I like different. I like good flavor, just not too spicy.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Okay, Ron. It has been a great time with you. Very funny, very entertaining talk. I am very glad that you accepted the invite. Thanks a lot. Thanks again. I really love if you can share with us some final words or final talks of these volley talks. And again, to thank you for this wonderful time, Ron.
Well, I just appreciate you having me on your your volley talk. I, I I'm very I'm glad that you asked me to do it. Uh, I can't wait to go back and watch it myself. but uh, then I'll be having to send out a bunch of sorry notes to everybody. Uh, but it's been a great time, and if anybody ever needs advice or anything, you can always uh, send me an email or send me a note on Facebook Messenger, and I'll answer it. I'll try to answer it the best way possible. So if you have any questions or need anything, I'm always here for the future referees or even old referees. But
thanks,
like me, old referee now.
thanks a lot, Ron. Hey, do you play drums? Because I see drums
Yeah, I
behind you.
play a little drums. I,
No
I,
shit.
yeah, I, uh, I have fun with them. So, but something to do, especially during COVID.
And
Stay in the house.
there's a football, soccer table.
Foosball. Yeah, this is my game room, music room, computer room. This room is like packed, but nice and quiet in here. But I can sit down. I have a good camera. Sometimes I do Zoom meetings on my laptop, but I knew this was going to be long, so I sat down in my computer room. So
Right. Okay, Ron, it was a great talk. Very funny. Thanks a lot, man.
yeah,
Thanks a lot. Hope to see you pretty soon. And pretty soon is talking about the next
yeah,
five
yeah,
or
yeah.
six
It could be
months.
6 months. I know that's going to
Yeah.
be soon.
Well, let's say next year.
Yeah.
Next year, I hope to see you in a volleyball court. I don't know, in Mexico or the US. I don't know, maybe. But really appreciate it. Really appreciate this time. Thanks a lot for being here. You were my guest number 82.
82. I'll have to write that down. I'm number 82.
82. Hope to, in August, hope to reach the 100th.
Well, I think that you're going to because you're interviewing everybody. So you're doing a great job, and I'm glad that you're doing it, and I'm sure that everyone around the world enjoys it too because they get to hear different people from all walks of life and all different forms of volleyball, from coaching to playing and refereeing. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, that's part of the idea, to use this time in home because of COVID, and this project started on April 11th with Ivan Contreras. You know him.
Yeah,
I have had players, referees, coaches, managers, MCs, DJs,
yeah, no,
visitors,
DJ.
DJ Rushen
Yeah.
last week, and this tomorrow I don't have nobody. On Friday, the third episode with Maria Luis, the great Cuban player.
Oh yeah. Yep.
How you can
I've been
watch it?
lucky enough to meet her a few times.
Oh,
Oh,
she
she's
was a
an
great,
awesome player. Yeah, I know.
awesome player. On Saturday at 6 p.m., I will have Yohi Kang. No, sorry, Ben Abbott. Ben Abbott, an Australian MC and DJ.
Okay.
He was the MC for last year Pan Am Games in Lima. He's Australian, and later at 8 p.m. I will have Yuhi Kam directly from Seoul, Korea.
Excellent.
I have on the side is Tajev Hanif Park, is Tara Cross Battle. Uh, I hope Phil Alhauser, Nick Lucena, hope, cross
Hope.
fingers.
Yeah.
And I hope that in August I can reach the 100th Volley Talk. Thanks to all for watching, for listening to us. Thanks to you, Ron, again, and hope to see you pretty soon next year.
Yep. Well, I appreciate it again, and thank you very much, and thanks for everybody asking questions and saying hello, and everyone be safe and take care.
Okay, take care, Ron. See you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.